Got better things to do, man. Friday night, man.
I mean, you're lifting weights on Friday nights.
Hey, you feel me? Like, just a little extra work, man. Trying to get our first win of preseason, man.
Kyle, you were a 2 rebound shot with triple double tonight. What was working for you out there on the court?
Number one, it just felt good to be back out there with the guys. We've been working incredibly hard, during this preseason, traveling to Abu Dhabi, Madrid, just trying to catch our bodies up on the time change, and we've had a few good practices. So I like to see the carryover, and I've been active in practice, trying to get after guys getting after me, and tonight was just one of those tests where we get to go against an opponent who doesn't know our plays. It's not basically guessing right every single time. So that felt good.
Mike Williams said you guys were built for the playoffs. What do you say to that?
You said we what?
Detroit Pistons coach. He said you guys were built for the playoffs.
We'll see. We'll see. I think I have confidence in his sentiment. I appreciate his compliment, but at the same time, we have a ton of work to do. This Western Conference is loaded. We see how teams are making moves, even late into kind of preseason right now, different lineups. And if you've been watching preseason, you can see guys are getting, their bigs more involved, and their guards are playing with a quicker pace. So we're definitely going to see, but for us to make a statement like that and hear a statement from Monty like that feels good.
You had a lot of success with Derek Lively in pick and roll. What has helped you to build a connection with him, and what do you like about what he brings as a role man?
Yeah, no, I like D. Lively's energy, number one. I love that he pays attention to detail, and he wants to embrace the role that we have for him on this team. And he's made it look seamless at times. Obviously, he's still a rookie. He's going to make some mistakes, but that's what you got to expect from young guys, But the effort is there, and he's easy to communicate with. And when you have somebody that's playing above the rim, every pick and roll, or is going to put pressure on the rim, it opens up opportunities for shooters on the perimeter. So I'm looking forward to getting downhill a few more times and, just developing that kind of 1-2 punch, and also seeing the way that him and Luka develop that 1-2 punch in the pick and roll. Luka's a bigger guard, so he's able to see over the defense a little bit more. And it would be good to see that translate into regular season games as well, because they have a good combo too.
What's the difference between Josh Green that we see sometimes, and then tonight Josh Green, where he's aggressive and going after it?
Oh man. Being Josh's teammate now, I think you're probably talking about the flashes of greatness, and then also just him kind of learning from mistakes and knowing how to manage a game as a guard. We're playing in that hybrid guard position where you play 1-2, you have the ball in your hands often. I'll never discourage Josh from being aggressive, and I think my teammates and the coaching staff could say the same. I think we just want him to grow and mature in terms of his decision making when time and score is something that he has to be aware of. So it's been good to see him develop up close now. It's a crazy position to be in when you have kind of business, and then you also have the team going on. So I know the position he's in, but he's handling it very well, and he's staying mentally strong. So I just wanted to focus on getting better, and I'm just going to continue to feed him confidence alongside my teammates. So it feels good to see him have a game like this. I feel like he made a statement, and he should feel good about himself, and now we should have some carryover going into San Antonio, which is going to be a heck of a dogfight down there. I'm looking forward to the Wild Wild West matchups that we have and the rivalry that's going on between San Antonio and Houston. So,
you are the chief creative officer for Players TV.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys just partnered with Amazon Prime. Can you just talk about some of the incentives that we can expect from you guys this year?
Yeah, well, I think others can speak more diligently and more detail about kind of the X's and O's behind the scenes and negotiations. But for me as a CCO, it's been amazing to see the growth. Been there since the birth of the company, and we just have good executives that are developing new strategies, new opportunities for us to really capture the market in a different way. When you have an athlete-owned media company or television show or app, a lot of people won't catch on right away because we're used to the big brands or the big product being kind of the consumer's first choice. But moving forward, as we develop more content, we develop more partnerships, I definitely see a bright future for us, and This is more or less setting us up for after basketball. You kind of see some resemblance to Golf Channel or the Tennis Channel and seeing who owns that and seeing how the sport has grown since then. Obviously, the NBA is a great partner for us, but being at Players TV gives me that option to be independent and create content that really feels at home for me. And, it's just easy to work with people that kind of share that same alignment, that same vision. They really want us to have that independence post-playing career. And that's what I loved about it most when I partnered with Players TV. So being a CCO over there, it hasn't been easy, but it's been a process that I'm going to appreciate when I can pass this investment on to my kids and my kids' kids.
You guys had 39 made field goals tonight, 30 assists. How do you translate that into the opening day against the Spurs?
Just keeping up the pace and understanding that, I talked about it last year, and it's going to still be my carryover into this year. It's just doing the little things, boxing out and paying attention to detail and making sure we're staying locked into what our defensive core principles are. It's not a new system that I have to learn now, so it feels good being able to communicate to guys where they're supposed to be. And then also accepting that mistakes are going to happen, especially in the beginning of the season with different lineup changes and coming in, guys coming off injury. But I think if we get off to a good start, that'll cover up for a lot of other mistakes when we can get wins on top of those. So game to game, possession to possession, we just got to take it one at a time.
Another thing that Monty said before the game, he actually brought up preseason rankings player rankings that don't have you among the top guards. And he scoffed at that and predicted that you're going to tear up the league.
Appreciate that.
Have you seen those things, and does it give you insight?
I mean, it's hard not to see them because we're in the business of media and we're in the business of fandom. And players, deservingly so, get criticism. And as a player that's been in this league for a while, I haven't always dealt with the criticism in the best way, and I'm not afraid to speak my voice. And I think at that moment when I saw those rankings, I was just more or less saying to my peers and also the young guys, like, this list doesn't mean anything. We're here to win basketball games, and that's going to be the true success and true rankings at the end of the season. And that's where our focus should be. So if I have to step out of there, my comfort zone a little bit and kind of jab ESPN a little bit, they enjoy it, man. It's all good banter back and forth. And to all the media partners that we have, it's all healthy banter. Obviously, we all have our boundaries, but it's good to see kind of everyone else's opinions on who's the best in the world. And us as players, it's our job to feel like we're the best in the world. So there's that healthy banter, and I'm always going to stand on my principles and have that confidence inside me, like I'm one of the best in the world, no matter if I'm 31 or if I'm 35. I'm still going to feel the same way until somebody proves me otherwise.
Hi, Kyrie. Could you share some experience from your recent trip to China?
Oh yeah, no. Being in Xiamen in Shanghai was incredible. Shout out to everybody over there. Just making sure everything was copacetic, making sure that they were living up. Anta was living up to the end of the negotiation deal, and it went from just us being business partners to us being a tribe together, building. Something that hasn't been built before in terms of my life or theirs. It just was more or less us lighting the match for each other, giving each other fire, because it wasn't easy to leave the brand that I was with. I had a lot of success. I'm grateful for all the things I learned from them. But it was time for me to be on my own and to also build with other like-minded athletes or artists that felt the same way about the industry. It's changing, man. It's a new generation. They have different beliefs, and they really want to have ownership, and I'm all about that. So if I could sit in that seat as CCO at Anta and create more opportunities for others like me, male or female, then I feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose out here.
What's your assessment of Victor? Victor Wembanyama, what's your assessment?
Deservingly so, #1 pick. Just want him to stay healthy. It's been incredible to see some of his highlights. And I know Pop has a diamond in the rough over there. I think the whole Spurs organization knows it. It's going to be great to go against a guy like that for the first game of the season. But he's surrounded by a solid young core as well. So they're going to elevate him, and they're going to have their success, and they're going to have their struggles, and it's going to be good to see how they respond to that.
Kyrie, a couple more guys.
Kyrie, now that you go through your first training camp and first preseason with the Dallas Mavericks, What's your assessment looking back, and how did that help you grow with your teammates on and off the court?
Yeah, no, I just felt like last season we were under immense pressure. A lot of people figured that me and Luka would be a 1-2 punch that would be in the playoffs and going up for the West Finals, but we just didn't have the core group necessary around us. And I am honest about that because it takes people gelling, it takes chemistry, and as one of the leaders on the team coming in, I naturally took a back seat at times, and that's not always in the best interest of the team. I need to stay aggressive on and off the court with my communication, and I was just looking forward to the opportunity this training camp to have that time. Obviously last season there was a lot of noise surrounding me, and there was a lot of perceptions that I walk into the locker room organization that people are going to naturally have, so I had to break through that, really get to know people on a one-on-one basis or in a communal basis in settings that I can trust and be open. And coming to Dallas or coming back to Dallas, it felt like it was time for me to take that next leap in my career, and just not do so much talking, but do enough leading in the locker room and focus on what I can control with my teammates. I could say anything I want out here, but the only thing that's going to matter is how we perform out there. So it felt good to get started with training camp and now have a positive mindset heading into the regular season.
Kyrie, you touched it on a.
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Kyrie, the other night you talked about being leading a way that you never have before. What does that entail, and how have you stepped up as a leader for this team?
Man, well, I'm not alone in that pursuit of leadership, so I'm grateful for that. We have a lot of veteran leadership in our coaching staff. We have guys that have been on the Dallas Mavericks for a few years. They have a nice tight-knit group, a core group, and I just want to amplify that. I just want to bring that to the next level, kind of break down all of our comfort zones to a certain degree and have us really gel and peak at the right time. That's the focus, man. It's a long marathon coming up. I'm glad that preseason is officially done. It has been one of the longest in my career, just with the traveling and stuff like that. But we all stuck it out together, and I feel like we got closer on the trip. And we're going to continue to get closer throughout the season as we go through our bumps and bruises naturally. But I'm looking forward to trying to get on the court and getting the season started and being led by guys, and also guys lead me.
Thank you guys.